MotoVagabondNate does the South Carolina adventure route in my low fender fail. It's MotoVagabondNate back with Adventure Bike on another adventure in the southeast. We were in Florida doing the Florida Adventure Trail, the Panhandle Adventure Trail. We had ambitions of doing Deep South Adventure Trail and the Georgia Adventure Trail. But with Helene and Milton coming through, we got evacuated and we had to jump up to South Carolina, where Adventure Bike and I found South Carolina Adventure Route, the S.C.A.R. So we're gonna take off and hit the S.C.A.R, which is 1,000 miles. We're starting here at the beautiful Watery Lake Recreation Area, part of the Shaw Air Force Base. And some requests for higher clarity video and some different perspectives to see what I'm seeing from a different angle. I brought a new friend with me, the DJI Neo. So we're gonna toss this guy up, give you a first person perspective of what we're gonna be traveling through, and then take off and start day one. And we're off. Day one on the South Carolina Adventure Route. It's currently 1:10 in the afternoon and we're heading north towards North Carolina. The S.C.A.R is going to lead us north across the North Carolina border and then south on the Georgia-South Carolina border all the way to Charleston, then back north on the eastern side of Columbia and return to home base.
Well, it didn't take but a hot second for us to get into the dirt. That's a good start to the trip. I don't know if I'm going to be hitting a lot more asphalt or more dirt. I think if I can do between 150 and 200 miles a day, that'll be satisfactory. I really want to slow down and absorb everything that's in this region. This is a prospective area to make a new home out of in South Carolina.
I spent some time working with the drone and learning its capabilities, and then we were back off on the trail again.
We're coming off of 97, jumping on 200 west, where we're going to be going into Great Falls. I love this bridge. I crossed this my first attempt when I had a navigation issue. So I want to stop here and take a little closer look at what's happening over there. Nice. So we made it to Great Falls for our 25-mile check-in. We just hit 26. It took me 3 gas pumps to find one that works, and then the one that works shot gas all over my motorcycle. I was expecting more, expecting a lot more. But we're gonna rip around and see what's happening in this little tiny town. Came through here last time and there was just this whole area of no population, no open businesses. We're heading over there right now. And here we go into that section that I felt was almost like a ghost town. Maybe it was the time of day I came, because there's cars here now. The coffee market on the streets. I wish everything's boarded up though.
After quickly exploring Great Falls, I zipped on out of town in the search for more dirt.
I'll go ahead and do my 50-mile check-in. I am at mile 48.1, it's 72 degrees, and I landed at the state park on the other side of Watery Lake. I'm not going to go in and explore it because it's too early to stop. I've only been driving for 2 hours, but this looks like it would be a killer little place for camping. So far we've hit about 10% dirt. Mostly pavement. Out here at Old Camden Road, and looks like things are starting to get a little more interesting finally. Nothing major, but something entertaining. Good way to keep the energy going. There's been a lot of pavement. So far, I think it's going to be called the South Carolina scenic route instead of the South Carolina adventure route. But hopefully that changes as we progress through the day. I might get 100 miles in today before I start digging out somewhere to sleep for the night. Depends where I land. I might have to push harder. It's going to be a little bit chilly though. Being in the mid-November time frame, we've got temperatures that'll be down in the upper 30s at night. We'll see how we can get away with the minimalist gear that I'm packing and get into a nice little warm cocoon for the night. Never fast enough with the camera. Just missed 2 turkey flying and cruising down the road. This is probably one of the best sections. We just crossed over 77 and it's a nice little manicured gravel road. Just past a young man that is stuck in the mud trying to take his Chevrolet truck a little bit too deep. Went off the side of the road, got into some sticky icky, and was up over the bumper. So he'll be there for a while trying to find something to pull him out. I'm at the 70-mile mark. We're going through a little town, maybe Winsboro, I'm not sure of the name. There's no signs yet. Fairfield County. Quaint little town. That's cool. Winsboro Fiesta, authentic Mexican grill. Maybe I should stop for some chow here. This looks like one of the few towns that I'll be passing through. 75-mile update. It's still sitting at 69 to 70 degrees, but I did slip on a extra layer because it's mysteriously cold air blowing around here. We elevated ourselves up to 494 feet. And we're going to be closing in on 345. We've been riding for 2 hours, 40 minutes. I got them this time. This is the coolest bird flyby I've ever had. I'm gonna grab his tail. I got him. Nice. Oh man, I always have birds flying along with me on trips, and that one was the best turkey fly along ever. We're about to hit the 100-mile mark, and boom, we are going downhill dirt road. We're getting into better mixtures of having some national forest, I think we're in, giving us opportunity for more dirt, more manicured gravel like this. I mean, I'm averaging a 30-mile-an-hour speed for the last 3 hours.
113.6 miles. We're in along a national forest somewhere and saw a little road to dip up into. So I'm going to create a little place for my hammock between a couple of trees right here. So by the time I'm done, you won't see me. I don't think anybody's coming up here. Sit around, check out the map, look for exciting things to adventure into tomorrow, and maybe cook a little of them raw mein noodles. After spending all that time getting the perfect place to set up my hammock, I realized I'm in the right place, just at the wrong time. I forgot to set my timepiece back on the motorcycle for daylight savings time. So down the road we go. $150-mile check-in. I found myself in a pretty oppressed place, and I know I missed a 125-mile check-in, but I was playing tag with a federal agent that was trying to, I guess, follow me and then hit me off because he knew what I was doing and come back the other way just to make sure I wasn't gonna camp or something. But now I am in the middle of nowhere where everything is just clear-cut, ready. It's just, there's no trees to hang a hammock from. It's all like double, triple posted. South Carolina believes in big poles for any entrance to anything, and everybody's out hunting. So there's not a lot of opportunity from normal stealth camping. But we got probably 20-30 more minutes to find something, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I think I found some stopping point for me. It wasn't much further after 150, but this stuff is, look how thick it is. It's just impossible. It's filling up everything. These were brand new Kenda big blocks when I took off on the trip. It's like they just came through and broke up what used to be all the concrete. It's wet, and this is just, you're not going anywhere. So now I gotta try to find a way to turn it around. My front wheel just like stopped. It filled up with so much mud and it packed it up into the fender. In retrospect, this is the moment I should have completely removed the front fender. Posted signs every single other tree. So it's not like, hey, let's just give it up and stay here. So there's a lot more of this to go, and I don't think I'm gonna make it. I might have to skip this road because it is definitely impassable when wet, and it's wet. Little tricks of the trade, you can't even turn around.
Battery level is low.
So you gotta do this.
And with that, unfortunately, you don't get to see all my struggles on the way to find a campsite.
Well, isn't this just great? It's 6:20. I had to set up in dark. It got dark super quick. Gotta remember, it's the middle of November. And I got stuck on this dirt road that is not, it's just red clay. You saw it earlier. So had to wiggle my way back to the main road. Still, it was just, you know, you try not to fall over. It takes your front wheel, takes you into a mud pit. You drag it out sideways and backwards and turn it around. And eventually I was like, man, posted sign? I don't care. If this dude's got a road this hard to pass, I'm gonna have to stay here tonight. So I jumped into the woods, set up camp, hopefully in a place where no one can see me. And we're gonna try again tomorrow morning. But I'm gonna try to go back out to the main road and go around because I found a paved path around. This is just completely impassable today. No dinner tonight. Hopefully get up and make a little cream of wheat before anybody finds me, and hopefully I can get up back out of this hill. I thought I would make it. This is kind of like normal looking terrain over here, but it's still, the red clay is underneath of that. So finding out, trying to get off the road and back down here was even super hard. Try again tomorrow. We did just over 150, probably like 156 miles or something.
Time to snuggle up in the hammock and endure what ended up being below freezing temperatures with my new slug buddies and enjoy the sounds of nature.
All right, 07. First gunshots went off at 0630, so I know they're out here hunting close. I better skedaddle, do a hasty retreat back up to the muddy road, try the great escape, and get north of here. So this one road I will not make. I think they made it so you cannot come up this road. It is very undesirable and extremely well posted. Well, I can't even roll because I have mud stuck and frozen. Look at this stuff. You can't even roll the tires to get out of here.
My second opportunity to just completely remove the front fender.
This is crazy thick. All right, I'm gonna try to clear my wheels. Whew, didn't make it far. Just down this little bitty slop shit, and I never take pictures of myself falling over, but that's where I was, laying sideways in the ditch. I gotta get the hell off this road. It is impossible. It's impossible. I mean, it's just no traction, no brakes, no steering. It's just waddle on next to it as best you can. I made it about from the top of the hill to here. 0.1 miles. First crash of the day.
One of the toughest quarter-mile stretches of road I've ever struggled down, and that's when I finally found myself back on rideable terrain and found out I'd smoked my clutch.
Well, I believe that's all she wrote. It's 0830 after a beautiful breakfast at the C&N grocery in a little town. Luckily I found when I was trying to scope out some gas. But yeah, that's all she wrote. I think my clutch is finally smoked at the 43,000 mile mark. I mean, the mud is still packed so deep into the front that I've been digging it out. I think what happened was we were just pushing the front wheel around. That's why we couldn't go anywhere. As it was filling up, and then it would free, and then it would fill up, and it would free, and then it just locked up, and no traction with the rear tire. No clutch. So it might have been defeated here in South Carolina. But made some great people, had a great BLT for breakfast,
met a man that had a bull that broke his pecker. And then he had another bull that broke his pecker. He said, I don't know what's going on with my bulls lately. They can't get their aim down. Good times. That very same man told me Enduros didn't have low fenders like that in his day. So I headed over to the car wash and found out the severity of the low fender fail situation. Finding red clay packed with chunks of concrete and rock still packed in my fender. So thick the knobs of my front tire were burning into the clay. So I limped back to my campsite at Lake Watery, ready to regroup and retool for another chance to defeat the South Carolina adventure route. Stay tuned to MotoVagabondNate as I travel to the Canary Island Tenerife and to Morocco for a 9-day guided tour.